What's up, YouTube? WinterGuard here. Today we're going to do part 2 in our series on comparing efficiency between Magic Find areas. My last video I did was comparing Andariel and Mephisto. So today we're going to get into two other areas that are pretty close to the same as far as the approach on what they are and best way to run, and that is the pits in Act 1 and ancient tunnels in Act 2. I'm sure most players are familiar with these areas, but for those who don't know, they are monster level 85, so the champ and monster packs, or champ and boss packs in both can drop every item in the game, so that's a big plus. They both have a super chest. Well, really a super chest. This is different. It would be the gold sparkly chest. I think their drop tables are a little bit different from super chests. I could be wrong on that. So they both have one. The pits is 2 level split, so it's a little bit bigger. There are more monster or more champ and boss packs in the pits versus ancient tunnels. The resists in both areas are a little different. For those that that run a cold sork, they have probably run ancient tunnels quite a bit because there are no cold immunes in the ancient tunnels. The pit has various immunities, so you will run up against that. But the pits are known specifically for barbarians running it, the pit zerkers. And the reason for that is because they get double the capacity of drops because once they kill a boss or champ pack, they could also do find item on the body and potentially double up on drops. So that's one thing with the pits. It's definitely an advantage to run a barbarian in that, just double up on the drops. I mean, I guess you can do that for ancient tunnels as well, but there's not as many packs in there, so maybe time efficiency wise it's probably better for the pits. Definitely for cold sorks though, ancient tunnels it's a place to be. There's no cold immunities there, so you could just blast right through it. As far as both of them, I mean, it probably takes about the same time to get to both areas. One thing with ancient tunnels, maybe a slight advantage, is the fact that the opening can spawn near the waypoint. The pits is always going to be a decent little run from the outer cloister, so it's never going to be that close. So I guess time-wise, efficiency, ancient tunnels, you can probably get to a little quicker. One thing about that, though, if you're farming ancient tunnels from Act 2, every time you spawn in, there's a decent little run for those who like to min-max. There's no way to get around it. To run to the waypoint in Act 2 in the town is a little long, so it's not really an easy way around that. The waypoint in the Act 1, of course, is really quick to get to, so there's a little balancing back and forth. Again, the Ancient Tunnels doesn't have quite as many packs in it, so it's probably a little easier to farm on lower level characters or less geared characters, so there's that as an advantage. The pits can get a little intimidating if you're getting in there, say mid 70s, don't have quite the gear. There's some packs in there that might give you some trouble. But we're going to do a little number comparison like I did in the previous video. And I'm going to show a little compilation of drops. There's not a much. I did 1 hour runs. I did a count on number of runs, drops, number of set or unique drops in both. Again, an hour is not really that long. It's a pretty small sample size, but I wanted to kind of put up a little side-by-side comparison for that. So if you enjoyed the video, give me a like and a subscribe. Join us on our Discord. We have a pretty large community growing. It's been quite enjoyable to have a lot of the guys there. So the link for the Discord's in the description, and we'll do a little breakdown at the end on the numbers. First, we'll get into the run compilation. Just a handful of drops. Oh, and this is going to be on Magic Find 269. So kind of mid-pack. There's plenty of guys running 300-400 Magic Find with ease, and then there's beginner guys that are well under 200. So we're kind of in the middle. So let's give it a go. Okay, so we're a little over 9 minutes into the pits, and we get a Grand Charm and a Thresher, and we get a Paladin combat skiller, which is really awesome. And on top of that, I get an F Thresher, which I'll probably do the cube recipe on and see what kind of sockets we can get out of it. Alright, we're about 12.5 minutes into Ancient Tunnels, and we hit this boss pack that drops Grand Crown unique, which is Crown of Thieves. This is actually a really good mercenary helmet. I probably would have had this on if I hadn't got Tau helmet or first, but this might actually be a little better. I mean, it's got 9 life leech and it's got 50 life on it. So honestly, I would probably have worn this over the Tau. I had gotten the Tau first, so definitely a good pickup. Okay, we're a little over halfway through our Ancient Tunnels runs, and off just random trash we get the matriarchal javelins, which are T-strokes. These are actually a great offhand or a switch weapon for Furyzons, but as you see, it did roll +4 and 195 ED out of a potential 200, so I will keep those. Okay, so we're done with the runs. Quick recap on the gear, then we'll get into the numbers. As far as the pits, we did get a P-comb, which honestly, for an hour's time, that is almost worth it because they're pretty hard to come by. Even a plain one, still quite valuable, and I will definitely be putting it to use at some point. I also did get a string in there. Didn't bother I did, but well, let's go ahead and do that. Got a good string of ears. That's always useful for melee type character. And then for Ancient Tunnels, we did get the T-strokes, +4 T-strokes, 195 ED, so pretty decent set. Again, limited drops. This is not going to be your typical boss running. Most people run these for mainly to do the Holy Grail stuff, to find the really rare items. If you've seen any of the other guys, they probably found some of the rarest stuff running pits. So that's probably going to be more if maybe to mix it up, but that's probably going to be more if you're looking for Holy Grail items. You'll probably be looking pits or even Ancient Tunnels. I think as far as quantity of packs, pits might edge out Ancient Tunnels for that, but ease of killing, Ancient Tunnel definitely wins that. But get into the numbers real quick. For the pits, I was able to get in 12 runs, and I made a point of killing every pack. So I ran the pits not just to get to the second level in the chest. I opened up the entire area every time and made sure to find every champ or boss pack to get a kill. So we got 12 runs in. I found 8 setter unique items, and so that averaged out to about 5 minutes a run with a 0.67 item drop rate per run. So I mean, not all that great. The numbers would definitely be better running running bosses themselves and bosses, but still, change of pace. It's always fun to mix it up. And these numbers, there's nowhere near enough runs to make any sort of definitive answers. RNG always is in play in everything you run. So, I mean, you could run the pits the first time in, get a high rune, or get a really great drop. You guys know how it is. It's at the end of the day, RNG rules everything. Magic Find has a little bit of play in it, but in the end, it's the roll of the dice. So for the Ancient Tunnels, was able to do that a lot quicker. Got 18 runs there, but only got 3 set unique items. So that averaged out to about 3 minutes 33 seconds per run, but only a 0.17 item per run rate. Again, even 100 runs per, I don't think is enough to really show the efficiency either way. It's, again, it'll still break down to what you like to do. just overall, Ancient Tunnels favors Cold Sork, so that's always a good place to go, especially if you're leveling up and looking for some gear. You could run through there pretty quick if you're running Blizz or Frozen Orb or whatever. It's pretty easy place to run. So something to look at there because it can again drop every item in the game. The boss packs can drop every item in the game. So something to look at. Outside of that, we'll just leave it where it is. The numbers are not enough to make a great comparison, but I did spend an hour in each, running as fast as I could. So that's what we came up with. And again, an hour in each, I still got drops worthy of mentioning. So you just got to put the time in. But from here, we'll probably move to Bale versus Diablo. Two great areas to farm, two of my favorites. So be looking for that. Check us out in Discord. Links in the description. You guys have a great day. Keep on farming.